So we are discussing about the data frame data structure. Okay. Data frame data structure is a 2D array. That is, we can in data frame data structure, some rows are there and also some columns are there. Okay. Then it can store heterogeneous values. What is heterogeneous values, Grishma? What is heterogeneous values? Okay, heterogeneous values means we can store different types of values. That is, okay. Okay, Grishma. So we can store different type of values. That is, in one column we can store integer value. In second column we can store float value. In another column we can use string value. So in data frame data structure we can store different type of values. That is data frame data structure. But in the case of series data structure, only one column is there. In that one column we can store only one type of value. That is, either we can store integer value, or we can store float value, or we can store object or string value, or we can store bool value, just like that. Okay, so that is series data structure. Then after that we are discussing about attributes in data frame data structure. So many attributes are there. The main attributes we discussed is, what is index? Index attribute. Index attribute is used to display the row name. Okay, we just revise type the attribute name with the index. Sneha, I have the definition of index. Index attribute.
To display the row and
row and is there?
Column.
Column is also there. Okay. It's only display row name. Okay. This is to display index. That is, I will just explain what is. This is the row name. 0, 1, 2 are the row name. This row name is actually known as index. Okay. In data frame data structure, when we are using the term index, means it is row name. Okay. That's not the point. That is, index in data frame data structure means it is row name. The first row name, it is 0. 1 second. First row name, it is 0. Second row name, it is 1. Third row name, it is 2. So, in the case of data frame data structure, the row name, it is known as index. So, when we are using the term index in data frame data structure, it is also used for representing row name. So, the alternate name for row name, it is index. Okay. In the case of column name, there is no another name. The only name it is column name. Columns. Okay. This is the column heading or column name. The first column name it is player name. Second column name it is IP team. Third column name it is base presenter. What is that word? Don't know. Okay. So these are the terms related with data frame data structure. That is, the first term it is index. Whenever we use the term index in data frame data structure, it also represents row name. Okay. So what is the meaning of that index attribute? Index attribute is used to return row name. Okay, the first attribute it is index. Index attribute is used to return row name. All of you switch on the video. I'll just revise the attributes names and its function. So the first one it is index. Index is for representing row name. With a bracket right it is row name. Index means row name. So it will display the row name. Then the second it is columns. So what is the meaning of columns, Andrew? The If an index is used for row name, then what is the meaning of columns? It is used to display column names. Okay, the attribute name, it is columns. Columns is the attribute name, and it will return the column heading. Okay, index is used for returning row headings. Columns is for returning column heading. Okay, then next one, it is access. What is access? AXES, access. Access is used for returning both the names. That is, it is used for returning index name and also column name. That is row name and column name. If you want to return row name and column name together, we are using the attribute access. Okay, all of you switch on the video. Hanna, Sneha, Sana, Sharad, Basil, Pavitra, Irfan, Anthony. I will not ask any question today. So you can just switch on the video. Okay, Sneha, Irfan, Pavitra, Basil, Sana, switch on the video. Basil, Irfan, Sana, Sneha, switch on the video. Okay, so access, first one, it is index. After index, column. Index is for row name, column is for column name. The next one, it is access. Access is for both row and column. Okay, if I want to display the row name and column name together, I will use the attribute access. Okay, for displaying row name and column name together, we will use access attribute. Okay, that is two access bar display. That is access. The next one, it is date types. What is date types? Date types are used for representing the data types of each column. Okay, each column we have same data type. Here, we just check in the player name column. The first column, it includes only which data type? String data type. Isn't it? In second column also we are using string data type. But in the case of third column we are using integer data type. Okay. So in one column we can use same data type. The first column we are using same data type. Here I am using the Rohit. We cannot use 6.1 here. We want to use another name Virat here. Okay. So in one column, when we are considering data frame data structure is a heterogeneous data type. That is, we can store different type of values in data frame data structure. That means in one column we can use one type, and in another column we can use another data type. But in one column we cannot use different data type. Okay. So in first column we are using only one type. If the first value is string, we can use only string value under here. If here I am using 6.1 value, we can use only 41 value here. If I am using integer value here, we can use only integer value in this third column. Okay, so that is the data types of data frame data structure. Okay, so if you are using attribute like date type, it will represent the data type of each column. That is player name, data type it is string. Okay, IPL team, the data type is again it's string. Then the last column, its data type is integer. Just like that. Okay, so the date type is the attribute that is used to display the data type of each column along with column name. Okay, first it will appear the column name, after that the data type of that column. That is player name, data type it is string. Then player number, data type it is integer. Then team, data type it is string. just like that. Okay, so date type is the attribute used to display the type of each column. Type of each column. So the result is just like that. First, the column name appear. After that, the type of that column. Second column name, type of the second column, Ashish. Okay. Third column name, then its type, just like that. Okay. So that is date type. Then next one, it is size. What is size? Size is used to display the number of elements present in that data frame data structure. Size is used to display number of elements present in that data frame data structure. What is the equation, Anthony? What is the equation based on this size? Just look that size attribute.
In the
This
size.
Number of rows into number of columns. Okay, that is number of rows into number of columns. That is the equation to find the size of a data frame data structure. Okay, to find the size of that, size means total number of elements present in that data frame data structure. That is size. Size means number of elements present in that data frame data structure. So the first thing it is in data frame data structure, if you want to calculate the size, the equation needed is number of rows into number of columns. Okay. Here, what is the size? Ashish, how many rows are there and how many columns are there? We will not consider this one, these headings. Column name, there is no need of considering column name. There is no need of considering this index or row name. You just consider this thing. Okay. How many rows are there, Ashish?
3.
3. Then how many columns?
3.
3. 3 row. 1, 2, 3. 3 row. 1, 2, 3. 3 columns. So the size it is 3 into 3, 9. Okay, that is the size. Okay, that is the size attribute. After that, shape. What is shape? Shape is used to display number of rows and columns separately. Okay, shape is the attribute used to display number of rows and columns separately. Okay, size is used to display total number of elements present in that data frame data structure. Shape is used to represent number of rows and columns separately. Okay, for this example, here the result is, here first it will appear the number of rows. 1, 2, 3 rows are there. So 3, comma 1, 2, 3. 3 columns are there. So the result it is 3, comma 3 within round bracket. Okay, if I am adding one more column here. Elvina, what is the result if you are using shape attribute?
4,3.
Is it 4, 3? First it will appear the row number. Okay. How many rows are there?
3,4.
Yes, 3, 4. 4, 3 is not equal to 3, 4. Okay. So in the case of shape, first represent row number. Second represents column number. Okay. So this is shape attribute. Here I am using 3 rows. 4 column. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns. So the result is 3, 4. Is it clear, Hannah? Okay. So that is shape attribute. After that, it is endim. What is endim? It is used to display the dimension. In almost all data, in our data frame structure, we are using 2D array. So the dimension it is 2. Okay. the answer of NDIM is always 2 because we are using two-dimensional array. So in any question based on data frames data structure, NDIM attribute returns same result, that is 2. What is the result of NDIM in the case of series? One question is there. Yesterday's exam, I think so. What is the value NDIM in series? Anyone? Sharath? NDIM in series? No, Vidur?
Return dimension of
Return dimension, then what is the value?
2.
In the case of series?
1.
1. The case of series, it is 1. The case of data frame, data structure, it is 2. Okay. So in the case of series, if you are using NDIM attribute, the result is always 1. The case of data frame, data structure, result of NDIM is 2. Okay. NDIM means dimension used in data frame, data structure. In data frame, data structure, we are using 2D concept, two-dimensional concept. So the value is 2. Okay. The next one, it is empty. Empty. What is the meaning of empty attribute? Empty attribute will return a Boolean result, that is either true or false. That is the result. Empty attribute will return a Boolean result. Boolean result means only two results are there, true or false. Okay. If the data frame, data structure is empty, then it will return true value. If the data frame, data structure is empty, it will return true value. Otherwise, it will return false value. If some values are there in this data frame, data structure, then it will return false value. So empty is an attribute that is used to check if the data frame, data structure is empty or not. If the data frame, data structure is empty, then it will return true value as result. Otherwise, that is, if some values are there in this data frame, data structure, then the empty attribute will return false value. Okay. Then the next one, it is count. I think this is the last one we discussed. Isn't it, Amal? Okay, Anjo, we already discussed this empty, isn't it? No? Okay, so empty attribute is used to return a value that is based on the content in the data frame, data structure. That is, if there is no content, so if there is no value in the data frame, data structure, this empty attribute will return true value. If some values are there in the data frame, data structure, then this empty attribute will return false value. Okay. Then the next attribute is count. Count attribute. Count attributes give the count of items in the data frame, data structure. Write the definition. This attribute gives the count of the items in the data frame. This attribute gives the count of the items in the data frame. That is, within count we can use two values. Either we can use count of 0 or count of 1. Count of 0 means displaying the count of rows. That is for displaying the count of rows, that is number of rows, along with row name. If you are using count of 1, it is for displaying number of columns along with column names. So count is an attribute that gives the count of the items in the data frame. That means two values are there used with this count function, that is count 0, that is used to display the attributes of rows along with row name, and count of 1 attributes of columns along with column name. And it is also, if we are typing with no argument, this is also for representing rows. Okay. So for row representation, I am using two statements, that is count empty bracket and also count 0. So draw the data frame, that is based on that subject. You just draw the data frame. That is accountancy, IP, economics, English, 2018, 2019, 2020. Amal, here, what is the index names in this data frame data structure? When we are using index attribute, which are the index names here? Amal, which are the index names in this data frame data structure? If I was,
accountancy, IP.
yes, economics, English. Okay. So the index names, when we are using index attributes, the result is accountancy, IP, economics, English, and the result include the D type also. The first one, we are writing the result as or index. First it will display like index. After that, accountancy, IP, economics, English, comma, D type. D type it is object. Then, what about the column name, Grishma? Here, which are the column names? So, when we are using column attribute, what is the result?
2018.
2018, 2019, 2020 with D type. Index 2018, 2019, 2020, comma, D type is equal to int 64. That is the result. Okay. So here we are discussing about count. So I am giving count means it is for representing rows. Okay. That is how many rows are there in first column value. That is for 2018, how many rows are there? How many rows are there for 2018? For 2018, first row, second row, third row, and fourth row. So the result it is 4. Okay. In the case of 2019, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows are there. Then based on 2020, here also 1, 2, 3, 4 rows are there. That is count. It is also equal to count of 0. Count of 0 is used to represent rows. How many rows are present in each column? That is count of 0 or count empty bracket. Count empty bracket or count of 0 is used to display number of rows present in each column. So first it will appear the column name. After that it will appear how many rows are present under this column name. That is under 2018, how many rows are there? How many rows means how many values are under this 2018. Under this 2018, we have 4 values. So 2018, the count is 4. Then the case of 2019, the name it is 2019. After that 2019, under this 2019, 4 values are used. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2019, the count it is 4. 2020 again the count it is 4, and after that you want to display the B type also. B type which is equal to, what is the B type here? Here it is int 64. Okay. So count of 0 or count means it is used to display number of rows present in each column. Number of rows present in each column. Is it clear, Sana? Sana, am I audible, Sana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pavitra, what is count or count 0?
Used to display number of
Number of?
columns.
Number of columns. Is it number of columns? No, Pavitra, it is used to display number of rows for each column. Okay, it is used to display number of rows. This 4 represents number of rows under each column. Under 2018 name, we are using 4 rows. Okay, this is first row, this is second row, this is third row, and this one is the fourth row. So 2018 column, we are using 4 rows. So count empty bracket or count 0 is used to represent number of rows present in each column. All of you switch on the video. Okay, so count 0 or count empty bracket is used to display number of rows present in each column. So in the output session, first it will appear the column heading. After that, how many rows are there? This one is the number of rows. Okay, that is count 0. Then what about this count 1? What happened with it?
Nothing.
Okay. So, what is count 1? Count 1 is used to display number of columns present for each row. Okay. Number of columns, that is for 1 is for representing number of columns. Number of columns present for each row. Okay. So, what is the first value? in this count one, Meghna?
Accountancy.
Yes, correct, Meghna. It is accountancy, and the result it is how many columns are there in accountancy row. In accountancy row, this is the accountancy row. In accountancy row, how many columns are there? First column, second column, third column. So the result it is 3. For all index names, it is same. First, the only we want to calculate the first column value only, column number only. Okay. Then it is common for almost all the index values. Okay. So first we will write the row name first, that is accountancy. For first row, how many columns are there? That is count of 1. Count of 1 is used to represent number of columns for each row. So first it will appear first row name, that is accountancy. Then how many rows are there in accountancy? 1, 2, 3 rows are there. Okay. Then Sharath, what about the next value? IP, then it's not clear. So IP 3. That is the next value. Sana, what is the next value? Third value? Sana? Sana?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the third value, Sana? First it is accountancy, and number of column it is 3. Second row name it is IP. Number of columns in IP it is 3. Then what about the third value, Sana?
3.
3. What is the name?
Economics.
Yes, it is economics. Okay, that is first it will appear the row name. After that, how many columns are present in this 3 represents how many columns are present in economics row. In economics row, first column, second column, third column. Column means vertical alignment. It is column. So here I am using first column, second column, third column. Okay. Then last one it is English. In the case of English also, we are using same number of column, it is 3. Okay, so that is count attribute. These attributes are very important in our term 1 exam, that is for MCQ questions. The questions are mainly based on these attributes. So you want to clear the confusion based on this count 0, what is count 0, what is count 1, what is count empty bracket. Okay. So here count empty bracket and count 0 is common, is same, that is count 0 is equal to count. That is these two functions are used for counting number of rows present in each column. Number of rows present in each column. Then 1 means number of columns. Number of columns present in each row. Then one more output is there, D type. D type it is int 64. Here we are using integer value. So D type column it is int 64. Is it clear? Count. Okay. So the last attribute it is transpose. Transpose. Transpose is used to transpose the data frame. Write the definition. Transpose is used to transpose the data frame. That means rows become columns and columns becomes rows. That is transpose. Rows becomes columns and columns becomes rows. Transpose means it is used to transpose the data frame. That means rows become columns and columns becomes rows. So here, first I will take the column name. Okay. Find out the transpose of this data structure. Transpose is used to transpose the data frame. That means rows become columns becomes rows. Here it is column, it will become row. Then row become column. So first I will consider the column. That is column, it is, all of you switch on the video. Pavitra, Sneha, Irfan, Basil. All of you switch on the video. Okay. Listen carefully how we can transpose this data frame data structure. So this is the first column. Make this column as row. How we can write the answer? This column heading become row heading. So it is 2018. It will change column heading into row heading. And the values under column is termed as values of row. Okay, so it is 85.4, 90.1, 92.2, 90.5. That is the first row. Okay, so column becomes row. So column heading changed to row heading. So 2018 is the column heading. When we are using transpose attribute, this column heading is converted to row heading. So I will write this 2018 here. And the values under 2018, it is the column value that will change to row value, horizontal alignment. That is 85.4, 90.1, 92.2, 90.5. Okay. Donna, have the second row.
IP.
In the case of transpose, after transposing the data frame, what is the second row? After transpose, what is the second row? First row it is 2018. That is first column is converted to first row. Then what about the second row? Donna? Okay. It's not clear, Donna? Second column is converted to second row. Then what is the result?
2019.
2019. Which are the values? Values under this 2019. These are the row values. Okay. Row heading, it is column heading, that is 2019. Row values, that is column values. These column values are converted to row values. So it is 95.1, 95.3, 98.2, 99.2. Okay. First column is converted to first row. First column it is, column name it is 2018, that is the row name. Then the values under this 2018 I will write here. Then second row is converted to second column, second row, that is 2019 is the row name and the values under this 2019 is converted to row value. Okay, Lydia, what about the last row?
2020.
2020 values
99.2.
99.2, 90.
97.6. 99.5.
Okay. So this is transpose. Okay. Then you write the column heading also. Which are the column headings, Elvina?
Accountancy, IP,
Ah,
economics.
English. Okay, correct, Alvina. That is, this row names are converted to column headings, column names. Okay, here the row names are accountancy, IP, economics, and English. So, this row names are converted to column names. So, column names are accountancy, IP, economics, and English. So, this is transpose. Is it clear? Transpose. This is the last attribute used in data frame data structure. Transpose is used to convert row into column and column into row. So first you take the column. So write the column heading as row heading. So here the column heading it is 2018. So write 2018 as row name. And write all the values under this column as row values. So this vertical representation, you write these vertical values as horizontal value. Okay. So this 85.4, 90.1, 92.2, 90.5 do like a single row. After that, write the second column name, it is 2019. Then write the values under this 2019. 4 values are there, then write the 4 values. After that, write the third column name and values under this 2020. So this is transpose. Clear? Is it clear, children? Okay.